Hi, Lori. How's it going? Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good, good. No complaints in life. And you?
Well, it's a little cold here in Minnesota.
I don't have to worry about those things.
Yeah, rub it in. You and your golfing all year round.
Yep. This is the truth. I mean, there's very few days I can't golf. And I always make a joke with all my buddies because it could be raining all week. It happened like I think 2 weeks ago. It was raining all week, but Wednesday, the day I take off to golf, was beautiful, sunny, perfect weather. And then the next day was raining for the next couple of days.
You've
Um,
had a lot of rain, haven't you?
yeah, lately, this last 2 weeks, 3 weeks we had, but before that we were struggling for water. Um,
Yeah,
but
usually are.
they've been seeding the skies pretty heavily lately, so we should have another
Yeah.
storm. So, all right. Well, have any wins that you wanted to share?
Well, let's see. Actually, for Thanksgiving, the last 15 years, I give away pies to my clients. I just get them at Costco and I have them come in and pick them up. And this year I decided to switch it up and had no idea what kind of response I would get, but I found a local baker. She's just a cottage baker, and I did sourdough bread.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, people went nuts over it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to try that, it's good, local small company.
Yeah. And
So
how many families participate in that?
40.
Oh, wow. That is a lot.
I would have had more, but she could only bake two at a time,
Okay.
and she couldn't do any more than 40.
Wow. Well, that's a pretty big success. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, my win of the week was because one of my pillars is golfing and also using social media to attach it. So I started posting on community golf groups saying, hey, I want to sponsor a charity golf tournament every single month, and I want to put together a real estate networking slash mastermind golf group where we go hit the range and do it and and kind of talk shop. And actually a director at a community, or not a community but a golf club, reached out to me and said, hey, we would love for you to come and do uh, your speaking series for our members. We'll pay for the venue, we'll get our members there, we'll pay for the
Oh.
food, and they'll have some valuable content. So it was just a really a testament to when you have your pillars and you're diving in, they come together. But when you
Hmm.
have your backbone as your brand, um, so it was. Now we're meeting on Tuesday to get 2026 and pushing for at least a monthly, you know, um, series for their
So what
members.
are you going to talk about?
So I have a couple series, but one of them was called the Complete Senior Planning series. So we talk like one month will be about planning for the future and beyond. Another one will be about senior living options. Another month will be about decluttering made easy. Another one will be made about your power team of five, 10 warning signs to dementia, Alzheimer's, and how to prepare your home for those two illnesses. Um, the power or the power 1031 exchanges and DSTs, and then like how to analyze your properties. So it's like a 7-part series, and it was originally designed to go the whole year, and then just every month do one, and then reset at the half of the year, and then
Mhm.
every month do one again. So yeah, it's been good. I used to do them at golf clubs, but it got too expensive to host it, pay for the dinners, pay for all the marketing. So the fact that he's like, hey, we're going to post it to our members, we'll get you a packed room, and you'll meet other golfers, and they'll get some valuable information. I was like, that's like a,
That's great.
a swoop and score. So yeah, so that was a big win for me. So and then at the same time, I do a speaking event for senior living or not senior living, senior communities themselves, like senior centers. And they just reached out and was like, hey, we want you to come in January, do one for decluttering and organizing, and then every other month come back and just do another one of your topics. So those are my wins of the week so far. So
That's great.
Sherry did jump on, but oh, she jumped on. All right. Hi, Sherry. Good morning.
She must be muted.
Yeah.
I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Sounds like you're a little under the weather.
I am. It's been a rough week, but it's almost over.
Okay, good. Take some honey. My family's on that honey kick right now. So anytime the kids start feeling a little icky, they start downing teaspoons of honey, and so far it's worked. They stayed pretty healthy for the season of flu and whatever else is going around.
Thanks for the tip.
You have any wins for the week that you wanna share?
This week I made it to Friday.
And sometimes that's a big enough win for us. So good, good. Well, today, I mean, I was going to talk about branding and about the importance of a brand. It's you two here, so if you want to talk about something different, let me know. If not, we can kind of explore your brand and maybe give some each other's pointers and things like that. Good. So, Lori, why don't we start with you? Like, if you were going to explain your brand, your core values, what would that look like?
Would you say as it relates to seniors?
I would think just as a whole, as your real estate brand, like when someone comes onto your page or comes into your ecosystem, what are they going to notice about your brand? Like, what are your core values that you want to share with others?
Hmm. Interesting that you asked because I'm in the process of uh having somebody create a website for me.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the things that we're working on. Um,
100%.
and
Yeah.
we haven't tweaked anything yet. They just
Okay.
sent me another mock-up of it. So I can tell you more next week.
Okay. Well, why don't we explore? Maybe we can give you some helping points or things like that, and some
Okay.
exercises to do. So like when you talk as like when we're just talking about Lori as a person, what's three core values that like define Lori? Like for me, mine is loyalty above all. So I am like a stickler to loyalty. Um, I want to empower through education. So for me myself, I try to empower and read. Like I read 32 books this year already. I have two more to read
Wow.
before the end of the year. I want to fill this head with as much knowledge as I possibly can and as much understanding as I possibly can, so that I can go share my what I've learned with other people. Um, and I really want to understand, like, if I believe something or I hold a belief, I want to understand why I hold that belief and see if there's anything that could waver my belief. Sometimes it bites me in the butt because sometimes I talk with such conviction because I'm really convicted in how I feel. And I feel like people take that as, oh, he's trying to convince me that he's right, or he's not listening to me. It's like, no, I want to listen. I want to share what I believe.
Mhm.
I also want to understand what you believe. Um, so that's been another core value is empowering through education, and then really like just faith and family. Like I really believe that our world, our lives are really about faith and family. And so that would be me as a person. Those would be my core values. So what would you say like your core values are? What defines Lori?
Um, well, I mean, not to copy from you, but but I'm going to.
Yeah.
I would say empower through education because I do teach senior housing options, downsizing, aging in place, how to get top dollar. So I would say empower through education. Um, Another thing is fun. I'm fun when I work with clients. And when I posted on Facebook one time, because I was in a class, how would you describe me? I'm in a
Bold.
class. And that came up a lot.
Okay.
Um, and what would my third thing be? I I mean, it's not really quantitative, but I go the extra mile.
Perfect. So when I look at your senior empowerment circle, maybe a suggestion would be, so you have your senior empowerment circle, maybe having your core values around the outside of the circle.
Oh,
Or you have three houses, maybe it's three pillars: empowering through education, making sure I go the extra mile for my clients, and by darn it, have a little fun while we do it. And that could be part of your messaging and your brand.
okay.
And I like the circle because that also to me is like, hey, come into my family, come into my circle. So, treating every client like family, bringing them into our inner circle. You can even maybe have even an inner circle club, that could be about empowering through education, having fun, and obviously going the extra mile could be maybe linked to like the Olympic rings. Um, so I think things like that could help your brand. And for our brand, like the one thing that I've been really proud of myself is I've just been all in on, just I keep hitting in everything, no matter what site they go on, Instagram or social media or the website. It's all consistent in the brand. Yes, the colors and the logos and stuff, but also my messaging. So now when people are reaching out, they do go on those sites and they come back. Like I met with a guy yesterday and he's like, hey, I love the fact that you are all about golf and you take your Y Wednesdays off and you're about senior planning. You're doing more than an agent. I'm like, wow, it does work, but they got to be consistent because if they're not, then they go one place and another place. And I think and that's why I like the three core values. Sometimes I'm wordy, so I sometimes try to get to like maybe five core values. Uh, but I think if you're consistent with those three core values, then you really start defining like your core value. When people come there, they're saying, okay, I know now what Lori's about. And then it's also easier to create content because you create content based around those three pillars. So there could be
Mhm.
one of you actually having fun, or what do you do for fun, or how do you make the transaction fun? Because most people wouldn't put fun and real estate transactions together.
Right.
It would be probably the exact opposite: emotional, stressful, egotistical for agents on the other side, and I think even in clients. So I think that might help you. And when you give your website designer that kind of information, that kind of ammunition, then they can start really building your website and your brand around it. And I would maybe even say like or suggestion would be like your website maybe even having like my three core values like as tabs, like fun, empowering through education, and going the extra mile. The going the extra mile could be success stories that you've had or things that you've done with, for clients or with clients. Fun could be like different events like the sourdough bread, idea and those kind of things. And then also personal things that you do for fun because we need to show our personal side in business, even though sometimes we're afraid.
Mhm.
And then the other one could be empowering through, education and doing your series and showing little clips of you teaching people. And I think that way when they come on, they're like, bam, bam, bam. That's what's important. I mean, I know people are all about websites having IDX and people searching. I don't believe that happens. I really don't. I think a
They
more
don't.
important thing would be is to have an ecosystem where they can log in to your website and that will give them access to a back page of vendors and resources so that they know that anytime they need a resource, they log into your website, you automatically see, and they start looking for different vendors.
Hmm.
I think that's more of a value to clients from what I'm seeing than others. And I know that companies like Zillow, Mr. Cooper, that is their main kick right now. They're not even so much after the transaction anymore. They are after the ecosystem and the lifetime cycle of a client. They're realizing homeowners have more wealth than any other people. More millionaires are made through real estate, and homeowners are so much better off with buying things and paying for roofs and needing this and needing that, whereas renters and the first time homebuyers, they're not there yet. So they're
Hmm.
really after, how do I keep the client, and then how do I keep the client from going back to
Hmm.
their mortgage officer, back to their real estate agent to ask for those things. So I'm telling everyone, like, to double down on your ecosystem. Really, like, that's your value of 2026. Reach out to your clients and let them know, like, hey, if you need help with anything, you need any kind of resource, you need any kind of information, whatever, please come to me, or have a site that they can go to, because that is where we're headed. Um, so yeah, Sherry, do you want to?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. You want to kind of explore your things, your core values, and your brand?
I'm not sure this is a good day for me to have a
Okay.
clear thought process. I do have a question about what you were just talking about, though. Um,
Hmm.
having the resources for people and having them available. What are your thoughts on whether you kind of let those be available to everyone versus hanging on to that information and having people come to you that are your clients for that
So
information?
yeah, so I mean, I think one is like having a login page. Like most websites will allow you to do it. Well, they'll have a login page, so it'll only be for your clients that have actually done transactions with you. Or in my period, I would say like maybe open it up to your core, so they can get a username and password that logs them into the inner circle or the back, support or the appreciation program. It'll give them like what events you have coming up. It'll also give them a resource tab where they can go in and look for, a roofer. Now, I'm okay with saying it, like of letting that phone number and email be available, but I would probably have something on there saying, if you need a roofer, please let me know. I can personally introduce you to the roofer, and he's willing to give you a special blah blah blah. And anyone that's a vendor would have to commit to any of your clients that you personally introduce them to, give them some kind of little special for you. And just as I would do if like my roofer introduced me to a client, I told him I'd give the client a special buyer's credit for him introducing me to them. So now, like, instead of just getting a name and number, they actually get on the phone or put us in a group text message, and we actually, actually get introduced the proper way.
Okay,
So,
I like that.
yeah, I wouldn't just put it on my website and just have it for anybody and everybody to go to, because obviously we want to know, we want our roofer to know where that client came from. And and maybe even saying something again on that site, on that page, of saying, if you do want to reach out directly to Caesar, please let him know that you were referred to me, because he'll give you a special credit. Again, you want to make sure that you're tied to that, because ultimately you want to be him to do the same thing that you're doing. um, and I do a newsletter, and every single month we'll do a member spotlight of someone in my board of directors, and it'll say, so this is Caesar. He's got a daughter that loves to play golf. He loves to play golf. They're out there golfing. He's also a great roofer and very reliable and trustworthy. I've sent him to a client who was told he needed a new roof. He went there and literally in 7 minutes pinpointed exactly where the roof leak was at, tell him it'd be $800 and he'd fix it tomorrow. And that's the kind of guy I feel comfortable with introducing to you, because I know that he's not going to try to rip you off. He does a good job. And at the same time, he could do a full roof removal if you needed it. but only if you need it. And now that gives them a reason to say, oh, okay, Cory's looking out for my best interest. Cory has a good roofer, and then I kind of time the member spotlights with when they'll be relevant. So I know as we come into rainy season, if we talk about a roofer before it starts raining, no one needs a roofer. But once it starts raining, that's when everyone needs a roofer, because that's when you start noticing you have roof leaks and you start panicking. Now, hopefully we can, have them be proactive, but it's just with roofers, they're crisis mode. That's generally why people do it. Very rarely, sometimes people go, okay, they met with them when it was raining. And now once it stops raining, we're going to change over the roof, because you can't change over the roof when it's raining, obviously. Um, and tax season. If we're already at April 15th, there's no reason to introduce my CPA. But maybe in January, saying, hey, the year is over. When was the last time you've had your tax returns reviewed by a second opinion? Maybe that's a great time to do it. Or if you're thinking about changing your CPA, here's a time to meet with somebody, go use your CPA for last year, but maybe set yourself up to use a CPA for next year. So those would be like the different times that I would introduce those member spotlights. And yeah, what other questions you guys have or topics you want to talk about?
What does your logo say? What is it? What does it
Oh,
say around
it's
there?
cut off. So this is my company that's called Invest for Purpose. So we invest, we'll fund long-term care, the transition expenses, and legal cost. So let's say you have a client who they need to go into assisted living right away. The crisis has happened, but they don't have money to do so. All of it's stuck inside of their house. And they're like, okay, what are we supposed to do? What we will do is we'll pay for them to get moved into the assisted living home. We'll pay for them to get moved, declutter, organize, minor repairs, put the house onto the market, sell it. And once it sells, we get our money back plus 12%.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I'm still working on the Zoom. It cuts things off. And so I'm still working on the correct size of it. But yeah, that's basically it is. And we have the program is called Care Bridge Financing. So we will fund long-term care. And um, I'm trying to make it a standalone company. Up until very recently, I was just doing it for my clients. This 2025, I think we did 5 different clients that were not mine. And we're going to try to open it up to more people. And my goal is to raise money across the country and raise awareness across the country, because I think it's a very well needed
Mm-hmm.
program.
So are you funding it yourself right now? Or are you working with
Me and a partner are funding it.
investors or?
Yeah, me and one investor are funding it, because we've been doing like 30,000 and 50,000, and they're like 60 to 90-day um, programs, because they're we get them moved into the community right away, and then we declutter and organize pretty quickly, and then put it on the
Mhm.
market and sell it using the basically, like I call it the auction method. We put down the price so low where everybody knows that's not really what the house is going to sell for, but let's go
Mhm.
check it out to see what we think it's actually worth, and
Right.
let the market decide what it's worth. Um, so yeah, so it's one of my, well, I have 8 companies total, but it's one of my 3 that focus on seniors and their families. So, any other questions or thoughts or things that I can help you guys out with, or things that any obstacles or pain points or anything like that? No. So I mean, what I'll end with is I do believe 2026 is going to be a better year as far as home sales go. I think prices are going to continue to come down. Rates will come down a little bit as well. But I think more and more people are going to realize that there's something that needs to be done with mom and dad or grandma and grandpa's homes. There's a lot of vacant homes that are sitting there that just people just don't want to sell them because they don't want to pay capital gain taxes. And I think those would be, the segment that's going to do the best are the people that really are visible and brand themselves towards helping seniors and their families. And when you look in your area, because every area might have subtle little differences, but there are going to be several pain points. The one pain point is where, there's not enough housing that's prepared for seniors and like to live for the rest of their life. So working with aging in place specialists, reverse mortgages, handyman that are and contractors that are reliable, that's going to be huge. I think if you have a capital gains issue around your neighborhood, which generally investment properties always have capital gain issues, but primary residences, you got to be up into probably 800 to $1 million properties, or there's very few capital gain taxes issues that people would have.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think the awareness of just because you start decluttering and organizing doesn't mean you have to move. But if you don't start decluttering and organizing, you're going to have to move a lot sooner than you thought because, I mean, just think about it. Some of these people have carpets in there, been there for 20, 30, 40 years. How much bacteria and poison is in that carpet is why they're getting sick or why they're having a hard time with brain function. So I just think really getting out there and getting the awareness and really feeling like it's our duty and responsibility. Because as a whole, the real estate industry does not want to help, doesn't want to focus on helping seniors and their families because it's not sexy. It's not a Tinder date, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and you're done. You have to go get things signed in person. You have to go and explain them things. You might be in escrow and all of a sudden they freak out and say, I don't want to sell anymore. And you're going to have to sit with them and understand that, like, hey, this is what it is. But I also think, like, protect yourself because you should get things notarized. You should get your listing agreement notarized. Um, and you should really get a family member or someone that they trust, like trusted advisor, maybe even like a pastor from their church or an elderly from their church, get involved because you don't want to get known for, making someone do something they didn't know, or maybe they didn't understand it. Um, and, um, and maybe cognitively, like you don't even realize, like, I met with a gentleman, probably golfed with him about 4 times. And this last time I was like, I think he's having a mental decline that he's unaware of, and that I was even unaware of the last 3 times. But then when I started putting it all together, I'm like, wait, no, I think he is having a little bit of trouble. Um, so I think those are the things for 2026 is be super, super visible. I know we don't like to hear it, but we should be posting on social media 3 to 5 times a day. And even if in the beginning you're just posting the same post 3 to 5 times a day, whether it's as a post and then a reel and then a story and then a post late in the afternoon and then a post later at night, even if it's the same one, the same people don't see it. The way the algorithm is working is it's based on what first, like they have to be on social media. So if they're not on when you post, if they show up at 9 o'clock, there's a chance that they might not have seen your post because it was posted in the morning. But if they're on at 9 o'clock and you post at 9 o'clock, the algorithm likes to post things and share it to people right away to see how they're reacting. Um, and then, as well as, like, there's some times where you'll post something about empowering through education for seniors and their families, but it might not show up on someone who's 55 years and younger. So now all of a sudden you're posting something that's not relevant, so they're not seeing it. But if all of a sudden the algorithm goes, hey, they started looking for things about their mom or about senior living care, now all of a sudden you post again and they are actually seeing it. So don't be afraid to overpost. And I think even on your personal profile, don't be afraid to overpost. Um, your supporters, the ones that always see it all the time, they're going to be like, oh, you posted again. They just won't like it the second time. Or maybe they will. Who knows? So I can say that when I started doing three, and I just started recent, like a month and a half ago, but when I started doing 3 reels a day at 7, 12, and 9 p.m. religiously, my engagement, my views have gone way up. And so, and people are starting to reach out to me and get more followers and stuff. So that would be my advice. And yeah, if nothing else, we'll make it a great day. Sherry, you feel better.
Yes,
The
feel
Lord
better, Sherry.
Yeah. And Lori, let me know how the branding goes and for the website, and we'll go from there.
I
All
will.
right.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
All right.
great
you.
weekend.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.